Welcome back to another episode of VanillaTyme. This is episode 19, and I've got some interesting news today. We have finally updated to 1.21.4 on the server. Yay! But no, seriously, we expanded the world border by 3,000 blocks in every direction. 121.4 is now out, which means we have bundles. We have access to the Pale Oak, or the Pale Gardens. Which means that we can, well, there's a couple of new farms that I would like to build. And most importantly, we have bundles. And I know. A lot of you are just like, bundles are not the exciting part of this update. But bear with me for a second. I love bundles. I used Vocal's Map Holder, which was a collectible from like in the last season. It's still around, but I don't have one. And I use that thing religiously. I had two, and I basically had one on me at all times, which is why you see this one here. It's basically, yeah, like I keep a whole bunch of like just little things in here that I like to keep on me. I've been keeping my stonecutter in my ender chest. That's not a real ender chest. I've been keeping it in my ender chest this whole time, so I don't have to do that anymore. I can just put it right in here. And you can cycle through and pull out whatever you want, which is nice. Like, I like bundles. I really like bundles. And, yeah, so if you can see, I've even done a few things like dyes. I've put them, a lot of my low count dyes together in a bundle. I've done this in a couple of different places as well. So if you go into my, wood box, like, all my item frames are now put together. I've done the same thing for my redstone box. I've got my different rails in one. I've got my copper bulbs in another because there's like different versions and stuff. So this is just going to really help with keeping myself organized, which is nice. Oh yeah, and I had this issue where if I was logged out and I would do vote rewards, it wouldn't count. It wouldn't like backlog them when I logged back in, which they're supposed to. And this was a bug with the 121 version of the plugin that seems to have been fixed. And I got a bunch of my backlogged ones that never came in all at once. So I got like 15 rewards or something when I logged in yesterday. And one of them was a scoop. However, I was told at the time that the scoops were not working properly. So I'm just holding on to that until I can get confirmation from somebody that the commands are back up. They might be fixed by now. But I don't trust it, and the last time I did that, it just didn't work, and it took away my scoop and didn't give me anything. So I'm just going to wait until I hear from a mod or an admin, which they're not on right now, so we'll wait. But I wanted to start, maybe once the rain's over, by showing you around some of the stuff that I've been working on, and in between the last video and now, there's quite a bit. Can the rain go away? So let's see if we can make the rain go away. The rain is not going to go away. Okay. Well, I guess we're just going to deal with it. So first things first, I've been pretty busy adding a few things to the back over here. So as you can see, as we walk in, we've got a few new builds. So I've added a new tree. We've put in some decoration. I added a pond over here, which is, got a nice little... Just needed something to kind of fill the space here and make it look a little less bland, take some attention off of the back of the storage room. You can see we've done, I think I showed, yeah, we did a little bit of detailing here last time. We've also added a new spot for our enchanting table. So we've got a new build here, which is a copy and paste of one of the other smaller boulders. But more importantly, when you go inside, we now have a level 1 enchanter here, along with our extra stuff and goodies that we need. But the fun part is, if we flick this lever here, it turns into a full enchanter, which also blocks the door, which is fine because when you're done, you just flick the switch again and they all go back down. Oh, that was fun. And if we come over to this one, we have another new building. I decided to have like a leaning rock kind of just on the side at an angle here, just to give it a little bit of different dimensions from our other buildings. And it kind of like runs in line with the Flintstones build. I've seen a couple of these in shots in the backgrounds of the cartoon, so I thought that was kind of cool. And if we come inside here, we have pandas. And so Harding and I collected a couple of pandas and got them in here And Harding's just been breeding up pandas as he is doing a head collection. He and Sade are actually both working on their own mob head collections with the more mob heads mod that we have on the server, or data pack, I should say. And so yeah, Harding's been breeding up pandas. He's also been on the hunt for a bunch of other mobs and bringing them back where he can breed them, or if they don't breed, he's just been out murderizing all the mobs in order to collect heads. But yeah, so he was able to get himself a brown panda bred up, which is great. And I think he's just breeding for the head now. And then there's a whole bunch of different variants of heads, so that's why we've got a whole bunch of them here. And then if we move along, coming back around here, Harding was also able to bring in a bunch of mushrooms for the same reason. So flew one in, managed to land it perfectly, which is pretty cool. And I went ahead and moved the regular cows over to this side so he could have a spot all to himself for the mushrooms. And so now we've got mushrooms and regular cows. We're probably going to have to cull this herd a little bit just to keep the mob cat down, but I think he was just looking for heads, so I don't want to mess with that until he can give me confirmation that he has found the heads that he's looking for. Let's see, what else have we been up to? I know it's been a few weeks since my last video, so there's been a lot of off-camera work done, just as I wanted to get some work done, but it was a lot of little stuff that I didn't feel was worth doing like time lapses for or anything like that. But you can see we've done a little bit of extra work on the terraforming here. And if we come around here, we've actually added like a fallen tree here, which I think is kind of cool. And it's kind of like just the leaves just sort of falling down as they're decaying into the quarry below. And you can see, kind of tilt your head sideways, you can actually see like it's like a jungle tree that's just kind of fallen over. I used jungle because I didn't want it to be quite in the same like color as the crimson fence. I wanted it to look like it's just like kind of dying and decaying and just like overgrowth to get the moss carpet and like the more green tints in here. So it's almost like the like one of the ancient trees here. But yeah, so it looks kind of like there's like one of the older like prehistoric trees has fallen down and just kind of like grown over and decayed, and like new kind of overgrowth has been kind of like growing up in its place. So oh, that was neat. But if we come down into the quarry itself, you may notice that I've done a little bit more work. So we've hidden the beacon underground and just created like a little rubble area here. So we still get the beacon effect, but without the giant beacon in the way. I've done a little bit of like just like terraforming here and there, just adding as I have been doing in between every episode. We've got like a little pile of like different materials, raw materials that they've kind of like dug out of the quarry. I think I mentioned in the last video that we like added like little emerald kind of bits and pieces, just like ores, to make it just like a little bit clean, like more obvious that there's like actual like valuable minerals in the area. Yeah, we still have slime spawning here, but that's okay. And then if we come over, can't remember if I did much work in here since last time, but I think it's been a while since I've shown this on video. So we've got the like carrot looking structure over here for the bee farm now, and it's been working away. I just have to replace the bottles every once in a while, and yeah, this thing still works, which is nice for making slime. And I also did a couple fixes to the I would call it the quote-unquote automated slime farm. Come over here, you can see that, well, it's not perfect, but it's been working a lot better than it was before. You can see it is still producing. I actually emptied this out pretty recently, so I just got to keep an eye on this guy. Yeah, he's taking a little damage. But yeah, essentially I just made sure that this was a little bit lower and a little bit wider so that the slimes would actually fall inside of it. It's not perfect, and I don't mean it for it to be. It's just a little bit extra slime when I need it. Let's see what else. We also added this path up here, added a little bit of detail as we come up. If we come over to the side here, I forget exactly what it is. Yeah, right here, we added a little egg clutch, which I think is kind of neat, using the sniffer eggs as dinosaur eggs, and just, you know, some invisible item frames that have the sticks kind of lying around, using campfires that have been put out just to look like extra like logs and wood that's been collected from the nearby forest and used as a nest. So it's kind of neat, just an extra little detail off to the side. And we've finished the pathing on the inside here, which now spells scoot along the wall with a little scoop ball. And when we come inside, you can see that there's been some work done on the paths, so they look a little bit more complete now. We still have to write the rules, and we haven't gotten a full game out yet. Harding and I did a little bit of play testing, and it actually worked out better than we thought. We were worried about the scoots getting caught in the corner here, but if you actually shoot a wind charge at the wall, it will hit the wall and create like a little wind explosion, and it pushes the armadillos out a little bit. So it's not actually as much of an issue as we thought it would be, like of the scoots kind of like getting caught in the corner along the edge. You can kind of just push them out, and I think the blue ice actually does help move them a little bit faster, so it gets them out of the corner a little bit easier. As you can see, like even when they're up against the wall like that. Fun. It's... I don't know why he's not turning. There we go, he's back in the ball now. But even when it's up against the wall like this, you can kind of push him, and you get him out that way. So you can, you know... Hey, wait. Oh, I just realized my Jade mod actually works for mob health again for the armadillos. They must have updated it so that the armadillos inside the ball actually show health once more. That's kind of neat. I think he's taking a little bit of damage, so we might have to get some healing potions set up so we can keep him healed up. Otherwise, we're going to have to make more use out of the replacement scoots than we thought we did. But not much else has been done in this area aside from a little bit of terraforming. And speaking of terraforming, we've also done a little bit of work along the wall here. So just like, you know, cleaning it up a little bit, getting rid of some of the dirt, adding dirt along the top here to act like as a little bit of a cliff overhang, so we've got a little bit more of a natural push from the top end down here. And coming over to our map area, I have also gone ahead and cleaned the rest of the Lion King map off. So if we want to build a new map, we now have the option to do so. So in today's video, I was thinking it might be a good idea to run to the world border and see what we can see. I would like to bring back some pale oak with the express purpose of doing two things. One, I would like the pale oak itself for building, because I build with white a lot, and I think that it would work really well for something like a picket fence, like a white picket fence here. Would be neat, instead of the cobblestone and the diorite walls. I'll have to play with that and see if it's an idea that I like. And we can do that here as well. And I think it'll just help add some extra texturing. We can see if it meshes well with the stonework. And if not, I think it's just an extra texture that we can kind of use elsewhere. And we'll figure out where to use that as we go. The other thing that I would like to do is make a farm. I've seen a lot of resin farms recently, especially on Hermitcraft. Exuma and Rendog have been building resin farms, and I think a couple others. If I'm not mistaken, I think Impulse is working on one, or has worked on one. Point being, they look like fun. They look easy enough to do. They only work at night, which is fine because the server very rarely skips the nighttime. So I have no issues with people sleeping away the night for the most part. And the orange is really cool. It's an interesting block, and I don't know where I'm going to use it yet, but considering I do use a lot of orange in my build because of the acacia strip and the acacia fences and stuff, it's a little bit more saturated of an orange, but I think it might be worth checking out just to add a little bit of extra texturing here and there, because the resin clumps can be placed on things like leaves and the ground and the walls and stuff, kind of like glow lichen, and while it doesn't create light, it does add a little bit of extra texture, and I am curious to see where I can implement that just to add a little bit of extra detail. We could even consider using it as scaling on some new dinosaur builds, which, before I get ahead of myself, I don't have any more design. Well, I have one more design. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. I wasn't super happy with it, but Harding seems to like it, so maybe we'll use it. But I do want to come up with some new designs because there are a couple more places, like in this corner here, and perhaps in this spot right here, where I might want to add some more organics. Oh, right. So there's a couple other things that we've done in the storage room itself. So we've added an incinerator, which is exactly what it says on the tin. You put an item in, and it drops the item into lava. You can put as much stuff as you want in there. There is no button, so it is literally a live incinerator. You put something in, and it's going to burn. Throw a torch in, and it's gone. And then over here, you may remember this is our rocket maker. So you right click the button, you get rockets. So we've added a couple of other functions to this. The first is this trapdoor with a sugarcane underneath it, and that should be pretty self-explanatory. You put sugarcane in here and it turns it into paper, and it will automate it and throw it into the paper bin over here. And the other thing that we added is this lever. If we switch this lever, it's like pressing the button, but then it keeps the button held. So if we right click this, it's just gonna keep spitting stuff out, and then we can turn it off. And now we have too many rockets, which is fine. And so essentially it's just a sustained redstone signal in order to just continuously make rockets. And I did this so I can refill my rocket box, because we are going to be doing more exploration on the edges of the world in order to find the new biome, and I wanted to make sure that I was stocked up. And so what you can do is actually take a shulker box and just place it against this observer, and because the way the crafter works, it can shoot directly into a container. So if we turn the lever on, we can just fill an entire shulker box, and then once it gets close to being full, we can just flip the lever off, break the box, and we're good to go. So no more manually crafting mass quantities of rockets or pressing the button a million times if we want a lot of rockets. So I thought that was kind of cool, and yeah, it works pretty well. The only downside is that the crafting portion from the sugarcane to the paper is a little slow, and I think it's because the redstone, some of it's butting up against itself, and so I think it just locks the hopper that's feeding the sugarcane in while it runs the crafter, so it runs at about half speed it's supposed to, which is fine. This is more just so if we don't feel like crafting paper and we're starting to run low on it, I can just go from the sugarcane farm, grab a few stacks of sugarcane, throw it in there, and then it'll just slowly replenish itself, which is good. And lastly, I did kind of leave the the slime launching minigame unfinished. The design is done. I don't have, or at least for the redstone, I don't have a build ready yet, and I was kind of hoping I could put that together before I start building the redstone, but we might just build a redstone. So I'm hoping that we can get to that later in this episode to actually get the framework of the redstone placed on the server. I've been dragging my feet on it, otherwise it would be done right now. So we'll see how we do, how far we get. So I'm hoping the next clip I show you is building that. But just in case I don't, I'm just gonna hedge my bets.
Potential
So it's been a few weeks and I've kind of forgotten what I've shown you. I did have a quick look at the video to make sure, but yeah, so we did like a little walk around, I think, right? And I showed off the start of this, which is, as you can see, now completed. So, or at least the mechanics are. So we're gonna have to get this tested at some point. But as you can see, we've got everything in here. If we press the button, it's gonna shoot an item across because there's nobody over there blocking. Whoop, we got a point. So that is working. Let me just put that back over here. Excellent, excellent. So we're going to have to test this, give it a, I guess, a playthrough, and eventually we're going to put something over the top of it. But we're probably going to do that in the next episode. We'll see. I don't really have a design for it yet, and it was weird. Okay, I think there was some lag. But I've been busy in the meantime, mostly with work, unfortunately. So I haven't done a ton on the base, but I have put in this little thing here. I have installed a barrel. It's very exciting, isn't it? No, so what this barrel does is I put emeralds in here, or anything really, and it's going to suck them up. And there is a lovely little hopper chain that goes around over to our librarians over on this side. And I don't know if you can hear that horrible sound, but it is shooting all these emeralds up a dropper vader. So it's just to get the items over here a little bit easier. You can see it's done already. And yeah, it's just so that if I want, I can just sit and run, what is it? I can just sit here and trade with villagers. I don't have to go anywhere, and I can just dump the emeralds in here because most of the emeralds I want to, for books and for, what's the other thing I need? Glass. So with that done, makes my life just a little bit easier. I've also been doing a little bit of farming over at the resin farm. Editor Steph here. I realized that I didn't actually record building the farm or doing a like pre-farm build introduction or lead-in to the farm being generated. So after the montage that you saw of me collecting my first Creaking heart, I actually went back and collected a couple more, and yeah, we built a farm. So not much to really say about this one. I did design it myself, so it's not super efficient. It uses 5 Creaking hearts, and it just pushes the top and bottom logs back and forward in order to pop the resin clumps off. And there's just a water system that goes in so that all the items feed into a hopper chain. It's I've got extra hoppers around the other side as well. Some of the resin does still pop off a little bit, so it's not 100% efficient in terms of like it's not lossless, but it does work. It gets the job done, and I have started selling resin at the shopping district. And so we've got a little bit of extra. I've stocked up the shop a little bit more, so we're selling that in the shopping district. And I'm trying to think if I've done anything else important since the last video. I don't think I have. I don't really think I have. I've been very, very busy with work, so it's been insane, and so I just have not had the energy after work to record any clips or to really get much done. I've just been a little frazzled, but so I do want to still play the Scuteball. I still want to play the slime launch game. I still need to name it. I still need to design a shell for it. But yeah, I have built this guy, built this guy, and I'll put up a reference photo. But yeah, he's kind of based off of one of the dinosaurs from the Flintstones, as are most of the builds around here, with some exceptions. And so I went for Goofy, and I went for a bit of a narrow snout. I wasn't actually sure I was going to build this, but it came out all right. It's kind of cute. It's a little derpy, but I just wanted something to go on this corner. I'm probably going to add something else maybe here at some point. And as you can see here, I've actually started building out a path, which actually runs all the way over to Sade's place, and this was at his request, and so this is something that we're going to work on together. I'm not really sure exactly where he wanted to connect it, so I left it off just before hitting his island, as I consider this, everything on this island to be part of his base. And then I just have like a little torch trail indicating kind of where we want it to go. But yeah, so that's something that I'll work on in between episodes and maybe see how it goes. I'm probably just going to copy the design that I have for the rest of my base, which is the dirt path with the coarse dirt surrounding it, and then maybe just like add a little bit of texture here and there. We'll see. Other things that have happened since the last clip are brown mushrooms. So Harding managed to catch the server during a lightning storm and converted a couple of mushrooms and then bred them up, shifted them over. We got rid of the old cows because we don't need them now because now we got cool cows. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I think if you shear, isn't it like if you shear a mushroom, it'll go back to being a regular cow or something? I don't know how that works. I can't remember. But if we ever want regular cows, they're a dime a dozen. We can find them anywhere. So not a big deal. But this seems a little bit more, I mean, not quite prehistoric, but I don't know, maybe. I know mammals are not prehistoric, but these are mushrooms. They're fungi. I think they're pretty fun guys. Oh, speaking of Sade, I can't remember if I showed this off, but he built a pretty cool little, well, not little, big structure. So I designed one of these, and Sade designed the other two. He was looking to get each of our neighbors involved here, but this is what it's looking like so far. That's my build. I initially used different blocks for the hair, I think, which he swapped out because I wasn't sure I was allowed to use deep slate. But yeah, so it came out pretty well. I'm happy with how this looked. I tried to go for a block for block rendition of my current skin. So yeah, and then Sade built Harding over here using the Fred Flintstone skin that I designed for him. And he's got his own skin here. So that's pretty cool. Some big monuments and this neat little campfire. I say little, this is a bonfire. This is a big bonfire. So that's cool. He also did a bit of a base tour for us. We also have this wonderful room here that I helped him put up, I guess. Put the heads up. So that's pretty cool. He's working on a full collection. Harding is also working on a head collection, so the two of them are trading heads back and forth and trying to get all the missing ones. But there's a lot, so I try to help the two of them where I can. But yeah, I just wanted to do a little bit of catch up. Let anybody who's watching know that I am still alive. I am not dead. I'm okay. I am just very, very busy. But if you did like what you saw, you want to see more, and are looking forward to seeing me actually maybe demo some of the games, or finish the games, build some more on the server, I'm sure there's a couple more builds that I got rocking around the tank. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you next time. Bye!